Hello again. Quirkiness observed in Revit MEP. There's a number of strategies you can take to try to show vent piping. One involves creating a vent pipe type that you draw deliberately when you're dealing with vent stuff, and then you use a filter to filter by that type. Another approach is to just draw the same old pipe, but then use a comment or some other sort of parameter to manipulate it. In this example, I've got a piece of pipe, and it's just the same PVC pipe, but I've added the comment vent to it. I've also added the comment vent to the fitting. This way a filter can affect both things. Trouble is, I noticed when I was working through this earlier today, I had noticed this before, but when you use the sloping tool, notice this number here. This is the ID number of this section of pipe here, and I recorded it here with a piece of model text, so it would be obvious. Now if I use the sloping tool here, punch in a number, and then hit finish. If all goes well, it should work. Notice I've lost my careful filtering. If I grab this piece of pipe, click on here, I've got a new ID number. So essentially what's happening here is when you run the slope tool, Revit's taken all the pieces and parts that you select, and it's recalculating all of the parts that were involved and these other ones that were touching it. And in effect, it's drawing new pipe. So while you might appreciate the sloping tool for that, that it's able to do that for you, you do lose, at least in terms of properties that are ignored when the tool functions, you're losing the comment setting. I haven't checked to see if there's some other parameters that it does pay attention to, but since it's drawing them from scratch, it's not really worrying about any of this stuff. I would argue that the routine that does the sloping ought to pay attention to parameters that are in there for pipe. So if you have done some customization or stored some other important information, that at least it's captured. In this case, it kind of hoses my my scheme. But okay, so that's my Department of Subtle one for tonight. Hope it helps.